Welcome to Vertical Football, and this is the 5 things we learned. Yeah, Chelsea versus Tottenham. Yeah, it's another London derby, and we came out successful in this one. I'm really happy with the performance. Yeah, 1-0. And if you watch the preview show where me and Casey talked about Chelsea versus Tottenham, I said about the match. I didn't expect so much of goals in it. Yeah, and it turned out the way it turned out. Just one goal that made the difference. There were a couple of chances where we could have gotten more. Yeah, but it's just 1-0. So let's go into the 5 things we learned in this particular match. And the first thing for me is the orientation to go man-to-man won the game for us. Yeah, the orientation to go man-to-man won the game for us. Because I spoke about it, like Tottenham are the team who would not necessarily play in the central of the pitch. They don't play through the central channel, or let me say they don't often play through the central channel. Under Thomas Frank, they like to play on the wide space. So playing on the wide space, they commit a whole lot of players to the central, and they allow their fullback and their winger to take the wide channels. But Chelsea did something very, very nice in this particular game, where we went with every single man. No single Tottenham player was left unmarked. No single one. They were chasing after them, running around them like rats, and it just changed the whole dynamics of the ball, in which Tottenham could not create anything because the creator has been marked, and the one who wants to receive something from the one that is going to create has also been marked. So it was just all choked up everywhere. And I was even looking at it like there were a little bit of downside to it, but it was not really obvious because Tottenham they have a very big stadium. And so if you are going man to man in that kind of a space, it will require more energy and more strength to be able to cover all of this ground, because they will constantly move around, and because you are going man to man, you have to keep following them, and it's not a coincidence that when they go to the 30th minute thereabouts, from 20 to 30th minutes, we begin to see Chelsea player bend down, hold the waist, just try to walk around to catch their breath. But I think the orientation to go man-to-man really helped us in the match. He gave us the opportunity to hold men and hold people that we know, okay, these ones can do dangerous things. This one, if they whip the cross into the box, will have issues with that. So they just hold on to that, and I think that was a very, very beautiful thing to do in this particular match. So the second one I would say is, the one who win the deals is the one who win the match. Yeah, the one who win the deals is the one who wins the match. In this particular match, majority of the deals that we got into, both the area deals and the ground deals, we won them. Like it was so beautiful to see that every time the ball come into a position where it is like a 50-50 between the Chelsea player and the Tottenham player, we tend to always come out victorious in those deals. And I'm very, very pleased and happy with it. And I think I will attribute that to the character that the player showed in wanting and knowing that when you win the first ball, you get control. And I feel like that part of winning deals gave us a sense of control for the major parts of the game. Yeah, because they send the ball into the air. We are going 50-50. If we are not winning it in the first one, we are winning the second ball. And we did that a whole lot of time. Every time we either go long or drop a pass where he puts us in the 50-50 between the Chelsea and the Tottenham player. And I think if you see, and one thing that we surpassed Tottenham in was the quality of the challenge. And like I said earlier, in my first point, we going man to man, and how we relate to these deals is 50-50 challenge, and you're looking at the players that are going 50-50 on themselves. You're looking at Reece James marking Xavi Simons. That's a good challenge. You're looking at Cucurella holding on to, Cucurella holding on to Kudus. That's a good challenge. You're looking at Chaluba holding Richarlison or anybody that is coming into the central Chelsea's box. Like the challenges are, it was quality for quality. It was not like there was a particular person who was trying to like mark somebody and oh, this one does not even stand a chance to get a ball from this particular person. Even João Pedro in the midst of Danso and Van de Ven, he was still winning area duels. Even what's his name? Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez, all of these players for Chelsea won area duels, won ground duels. And I think this gave us a very big sense of control. And every time we put the ball into a 50-50 space, we get it back and we take it and use it to attack them. And I think that was very, very nice from the guys. So the third thing I want to just give praises here, because this is a very fantastic match. And as much as I would like to give praises to the team. Firstly, I think the collective effort, you running for me running for you. When the person has marked this one and the person is going out of that zone, you are stretching your hand to call the other person to see, okay, look at this guy, and they are picking that person up. So I think it is a team effort, it's a team victory. But let me just speak about these two individuals in the person of Moises Caicedo and Cucurella. Moises Caicedo did some very fantastic job that you would not necessarily see like that. Like, oh, if you didn't watch the game in-depthly, you would not necessarily see it like that, because he broke the play. Sometimes where Tottenham were trying to just go into us fast, intercepts the ball, break the play, collect the ball and turn it back into our defense, and then we gain a sense of control. It was the guy who stands as the anchor there. So when the three guys at the front for Tottenham are trying to press us, he's standing in behind them and he's collecting the bounce pass, collect from Sanchez and bounce it to Cucurella, or collect from Sanchez and bounce it into Malo Gusto. And I think he gave us a very good sense of balance. He gave us that control in the defensive phase of the pitch. And for Marc Cucurella, we spoke about how dangerous Mohamed Kudus can be when you give him too much space to operate. But in this particular one, it just reminds me of one particular match that Chelsea played, Cucurella versus Salah, where he almost shot Salah out. Or let me just put it very plainly, he shot Salah out of that particular match. And I think he did the same thing in this particular one. There were moments where Kudus was still trying to want to get the better out of him, but that guy is so nasty. That guy will go 100% into the tackle and he will make sure he win it, and he will make sure he frustrates his opponents that they do not possess the confidence to be able to come into his space anymore. So it's just praises for these two guys. I think to just wrap it up, I was saying to myself that when anybody tell me about how much Chelsea has spent in recent time, I will just tell them Cucurella, Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo. These guys, they are worth the money. They are worth it, and these are good buys that is improving the position that they are taking up in the club. So let me go into the fourth one. Is still a team thing, and it's something we have seen from the beginning of the season. But I just believe this particular match one is just quite different, and it's the boys. They ran for 90 minutes. The match is played for 90 minutes, and the boy made sure that they ran from the first minute till the 90th minute. And I really appreciate that. I love that energy. I love that vibe. I love what I saw in the way the guys approached the game in this particular one. It showed the derby spirit. It showed the fighting spirit, and showed how much they wanted to play for this club in this particular match. I don't want to be too grandiose in the way I see it, but I see more of passion, of wanting to play and wanting to win in this particular match. We went through some very rough patch in our last two matches after we won the match against Nottingham Forest, won the match against Liverpool. But coming into the Sunderland's match and the Wolves match, I think our performances were kind of like shitty. But we showed class in this particular one. We showed class. And when we're coming into the second half, speaking about 90 minutes, when we're coming into the second half, I was kind of like worried deep down within me, because we know Chelsea, you go through a phase of playing in the first half and you love what you see so much, like you're just so interested in seeing what the second half will bring. And then you go into the second half, and then all of a sudden it's a different ball game. You just do not understand what is going on. But in this particular match, it is not that case. The boys showed up in the first half, and when they got into the second half, they showed more passion and more drive and more desire to want to win. So I give kudos to the boys. The football match is played for 90 minutes, and they made sure they played it for 90 minutes. So the last one is something that I know is going to be kind of like abstract. Yeah, like people would necessarily not pay attention to that, but I just feel like we have been speaking so much about indiscipline in this club for like 6-7 matches now. And in this particular one, this is a particular match where red card used to happen. So, but most of the time for Tottenham, but this is a match where you look at how nasty and how dirty Tottenham were willing to play in this particular match. And you saw the maturity in the way the boys handled it. And I think I want to give praises for them for that. I really enjoyed the way they managed the situation, because you look at that incident between Bentancur and Reece James. You look at the one between, what's his name? I think Spence and Pedro Neto. You're looking at the one where Enzo Fernandez was hit, where Garnacho was stepped on. A whole lot of situations where even someone like Spence and Bentancur, I was thinking at one point, like, these guys should not be on the field anymore. And if you start thinking like that, you will get this feeling of, when the ref is not blowing it to your favor, or you think the ref is not blowing it to your favor, there is a very high tendency that you will want to react. But the boys kept their cool. I like the way Reece James was handling the whole issue when the things are beginning to get heated, and even the introduction of Guti, and I mean Romero and Richarlison. They were trying to play some mind games here, and they're going to the boys and trying to poke them into a fight and something like that. But you just had the other guys who were pulling their own players back, and I like the way they handled it. It was a match, like, deep down within me, I was feeling like with the way these guys are going dirty on us, and the ref is not kind of like blowing it to our advantage by probably giving the red cards to that Reece James situation. I was thinking in my mind that these boys will react in a way that would not make sense, but they kept their cool and they held the match for 90 minutes, and there was no red card. Yeah, let's just be plain. There was no red card, and I think I'm very, very happy about that. So these are the 5 things. There are a whole lot of things to see in that particular match. I think I will just do the tactical view for probably Monday or Tuesday. But watching the match, I think it was just more, for me, it was more of passion. It was more of drive. It was more of wanting to play and wanting to win. And I think when you have that, you definitely will go on to win. But let me just say one last thing, which is out of the blue, but it's just something on my mind, and I just want to put it on air to just keep it there, to know, okay, I've said this at one point in time. I'm a little bit worried, and I'm a little bit scared of the situation that Chelsea is getting into. And what do I say that, and what do I mean? Looking at this season, let me put it out straight as it is in my mind first, so I'll buttress it. I think we're showing a small team mentality. And this is coming out of a place where I have analyzed and looked at this club. And the question is, why do Chelsea show more passion and desire and drive to want to win and want to play whenever the odds are against them? And I know this has been the history of the club, but looking at this season, you look at the match like what's it called? Liverpool, and you look at this particular match and you see how much drive and you see how much passion and you see how much willingness these boys are willing to wanting to put into the match. Then you go to the Sunderland, then you go to the Brentford, then you go to the Wolves, and you're like, what the fuck is this team? These are the twists and turns that we see in small clubs. These are the twists and turns that we see in a club that is not at the level that we expect Chelsea, that Chelsea is. So I'm a little bit worried. Like, I hope it's not what I am thinking, that we are beginning to pick up the underdog mentality. Because I feel like as a top club, what you need to do is approach every game with that same high standard. Just approach every game with that same high standard. And so let me not dwell so much about it. I just want to put my thoughts out. I don't know if we have other people who are seeing this kind of things. So whatever it is that you see, please drop it in the comment section. And I'm very, very happy with this performance, happy with this win, happy that we are back into the top 4, and let's just keep up the momentum and just keep chasing what we are chasing. And what is it we are chasing? To win the next match, because that's the most important thing. So thank you very much, guys. What do you think about this particular match? Please drop it in the comment section. And this is brought to you by Vertical Football. Chelsea won, Tottenham nil. Till we see you some other time. Namaste.